3, and I believe that was purely because he's played Sage before.
Sage is coming in onto the third base. Most of the units are out of position, so he can try and make something happen. Trying to force field that ramp to keep the reinforcements from coming up. He does get that down. So the units should be able to get down here in time to defend, but he's just so worried about that Warp Prism that he's not going for it. So Sage might be able to do some good damage on this third, but all those Zerglings actually hitting those sentries really hard. That will actually force Sage to have to back off.
There's still 4 DTs over here with this Warp Prism that can come in at any time. He's trying to get us around with these Zerglings. We'll be able to take out all these sentries if... Well, might not be able to get the last one due to that DT and the Zealots there, but he's just trying to chase him down. There we go, the Zealots.
Oh, he's going to get it!
Sentry goes down. And there's a lot of gas lost there for Sage. He's getting his third base, of course, but he still has these 2 pylons on either side of Crazy Moving Space here. He's got Immortals coming.
He's going to Archon drop. He morphed all 4 Dark Templars into Archons. Now he's going to see if he can get them into the mineral line with the splash damage. Oh my god, there's not many drones here. So he's going to move down into the natural. And, oh, but Crazy's got a lot of roaches. There's no real good place to drop these Archons, though. Because there's no base that is oversaturated with drones where they do a lot of splash damage. So he's going to go into the main, trying to micro the Archons against the projectiles of the roaches, doing a decent job so far, but the Warp Prism being chased away by the Queens. I love the idea, but Crazy Moving was just on top of it, wasn't going to let it happen.
Yeah, so during this time, Sage has gotten 2 Stargates in his main base. He's already got 1 Void Ray out, going into the more Immortal heavy mix, but a lot of these roaches are actually going to catch Sage's forces in the middle of the map here now. A lot of these roaches just tearing through all these Zealots. He's trying to catch this Immortal over here. We'll be able to get it at the same time. The Warp Prism still flying around in the base here. Has seen the Spire as well, and he's bringing back those Archons by the looks of it to try and defend this. There are DTs and Zealots and a cannon up here at the third base, and it looks like the Immortal coming down at the front as well. There's a Void Ray there, but it's not really going to kill that amount of roaches anytime soon. That Warp Prism needs to get home to help out here right now.
Yeah, that Void Ray, if anything, should be on the Overseers, because he's had a decent amount of time to try and focus those down, and then he could try and use the Dark Templars to hold this, but he's just going on trying to kill the roaches with the Void Ray. It is finally charged up. The 2 Archons have unloaded from the Warp Prism. He's still microing those pretty well to try and save them from unnecessary damage. Yeah, look at that micro with the Archons. It's doing really awesome with the Void Ray. He will be able to hold with that nice micro and the Void Ray all fully charged up. I don't even think he's going to lose this Nexus, but there are a lot more roaches and Zerglings in the natural at the same time. It's just too much for him to have to deal with. There's the GG. That's 5-0.
That is 5-0. Great control there by Sage. Just the follow-up from Crazy Moving was too good. That build really works extremely well if it hasn't been seen before, and Crazy Moving was like, hang on, this doesn't seem right. Gets just the safety Spore Crawlers, and it really helped him out that game. So, this guy seems unstoppable right now. Who's next? We have OGS Vians up next. He did get, what, an 8 or 9 kill streak in the last King of the Hill?
9.
From just before Providence. So he got a very high one. So let's see if he can stop that. It is going to be Infinity 7's Crazy moving up against OGS Vians. We're going to get this lobby started up while we get these players in the game and ready to go. We'll go to a quick ad break. Stay with us. Alrighty, we're just waiting for the map to be hosted now by our friendly admin.
Friendly neighborhood admin?
Yeah.
Except Mark isn't very friendly. Oh. That was a really bad joke. Yeah, it's metal. You have to host. Dan?
Well, he hasn't told me what map, and I haven't hosted.
It's metal. Since. You have to host because it's 4 players.
Oh, that's right. Fine. is it? Vines. Crazy moving. You. Alright. Alright, so everyone's in the lobby now. We're just getting ready to go. Vines is ready. Crazy Moving is ready. Good luck. Have fun everywhere. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Byung-se-ho. I'm Tower Terror. You watching FXO TV.
And welcome back, everyone. Game number 6 here for FXOpen's Korean King of the Hill, number 15. And Crazy Moving on a roll here at the moment is 5-0. I am unstable, joined here by Railcoon. Up next, those OGS Vines. And Vines will not let Crazy Moving beat his streak from the last time he was playing. Not gonna happen. So of course we do have Crazy Moving over here on the left hand side as our blue Zerg, currently 5-0 with kills over NS Hoso's Sage. We got OGS, the STC, OGS Illusion, FXO's Lucky, and we also had we World Elite Loner. So that is not an easy list of people to beat, and this is going to be very, very interesting. Although I will admit, the last game he read Sage like a book with what was happening. So
yeah,
he did a really good job there. Didn't allow Sage to put any pressure on. Let's find out if he can do the same to Vines. Vines does have quite a few plays under his book that we did see.
Yeah, I mean, the other week he went 9-0, and that's very difficult to do. If you're going to be doing that, you're going to have to be throwing out different strategies to mix it up. Because otherwise, you know, people are going to tell you what he did, you know, they're going to be prepared for it, and you got to be able to have that versatility if you want to win a lot in a row. We've seen that from Crazy so far, but what is Vines going to throw out against him? He is going to throw down that Forge. It looks like he was thinking about maybe going Nexus first, but since the Overlord is here, he didn't want to risk it, so he can put down the Forge just so everything looks normal, and then we'll see the Nexus. The wall off here on Metalopolis doesn't change much, because it's so wide open that there's really only 1 or 2 ways that you can actually do the wall off safely. So it's not going to be anything too crazy like, oh my god, that's the best wall off I've ever seen. It's going to be the same one you normally see. And Crazy did just go for the safe Speedling opening, because, well, it's Protoss. They're going to Forge expand, and, well, then you have to.
Absolutely. He does have 4 Lings in the way and wants to try and get rid of this probe. Very standard to get those 4 Lings out very early, but the Overlords, just like in the last game, getting a little bit too close to that cannon for my comfort. He did take a few hits from it last time. However, I have seen a couple of games where some Zergs have used their Overlord to tank some cannon hits to run units past into the main. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Against the smart Protoss, they realize what's going on and they're like, no, I'm just going to target you. Down with the Zerglings.
Oh, look at this! Vine's actually throwing up an extra cannon just to protect the Nexus, but it is a rather far back, and there is a Roach Horde on the way. So there is still a little bit of area over here that Crazy could come forward with the Roaches and put some pressure onto this Nexus. I do believe that that Forge is safe, though, because there's really only space for, I think, 1 Roach to hit that without being hit back, and then he might be able to get a Stalker up on the high ground. But because of the fact that he went for that second cannon first, there's no Cybernetics core yet unstable. And that's usually pretty helpful in stopping these Roaches, is when you have a Cybernetics core.
Well, he does have 2 cannons here. The Cybercore is just going down, but it's all done by 1 pylon for the gateway here and 1 cannon. So he needs to be careful. He will also be able to hit the Nexus from the right-hand side over here, where his Overlord is. Does have Link scouting out what's going on now, has seen that 2nd cannon, of course. Lots of roaches coming down, and look at this, Vines has no idea. His probe is going back, but he's completely missing all the roaches because they're too close to the cliff. He's got a little bit of a glimpse on 1, but there's no extra cannon. There we go, an extra cannon going down. Right now, he needs more than 1. This next court is done. He needs a Stalker or a Sentry right now.
There's 2 more extra cannons going down, but until that one finishes, he can still hit that Nexus. Crazy might even be able to wait for some of these roaches, snipe that forward cannon, and then go after the Nexus anyways. But look at this there. He's putting some damage in on the Forge and the Gateway. He's going to take out this cannon so he can kill both of these. Oh, and he's going in after the probes with the Zerglings at the same time. Trying to take down all of the cannons, actually, with the roaches. He's being very aggressive. I thought he was just going to take down the Gateway and the Forge and then run out the Zerglings, but Crazy... He's what is that patience business? I'm just gonna kill you now.
2nd Sentry pops out of that gateway before it dies off, though. There's more cannons here. There's gonna be 5 cannons in a second. 2 pylons covering them both, all behind the safety of the cannons as well. And I can't stress enough how that 10 to 15 Lings was killed off because the probes were in stop position down here on the bottom right. And it looks like Crazy Wing's trying to make something of it. I'm not sure if he hasn't droned at all since this. He's down to 14 drones to 32. There's the force fields, nicely done. The cannons aren't dropping because the Lings aren't being able to do anything. There's more stop position probes. The Zerglings are just going crazy they don't know what to do. Do finally finish off a lot of those probes there and trying to get at the cannons, but there is nowhere near enough stuff. There's the GG, and very nice hold by OGS Vines.
Yeah, well done there.
Very nice hold. Alright, so who's up next? Railkin, let's have a look. It is going to be Slayer's Golden. Slayer's Golden did do quite well in our King of the Hill number 14. So we are going to have OGS Vines against Slayer's Golden, but Vines has to take a 5 wins minimum to match the score of Crazy Moving. Let's find out if you can do it while we get the next game set up, guys, because all these are live, get the players into the channel, etc. We're going to have a quick commercial break. Stay with us for the next game. Alright, you have to show that chat to the stream, Railcoon. I'm sorry.
What just happened?
Supernova showed up and Golden is missing, and then the following chat ensued of Frequency asking Supernova if he can play, telling Vines he's sorry, and Vines wants to kill Frequency now. Supernova versus Vines up next. Alright, let's get it going. What map is it going to be on, though? Daybreak, by the looks of it.
Who's next?
Alright, looks like Frequency's trying to find Golden so he doesn't have the two teammates play each other as they've requested that it didn't happen. Looks like Mentalist might be ready. Yeah, they don't want to have an OGS team kill so early on, so it looks like it's going to be OGS Vines up against the Infinity 7's Mentalist. It is going to be a PvP on Daybreak. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, because then it would have been, like, the lineup order would have just been 2 OGS people right after each other. Which is something that we do, we randomize it, we try not to put the teammates, like, right after each other in the lineup, so... It's either going to be Golden if they can find him, or Mentalist.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dud getting his hair made up? Oh, nope. Mentalist is AFK.
Alright, so we are going to be going to the next game as soon as we get the next player up and running, guys. Sometimes we do have delays due to the live nature of the event. Stay with us.
Apparently he's not done with his hair.
Alright, looks like it's going to be Vines versus Supernova because we couldn't get a replacement anyway. Let's go.
Dun. Vine says, kill him. He says, you get Supernova. Kill him.
Alright, looks like we're ready to go. It is going to be dual side for the next map. OGS Supernova up against OGS Vines. We're going to have a PvT. Let's go into it. Alright, welcome everyone to the next game for the Korean King of the Hill. We are going to have OGS Supernova up against OGS Vines for this one. And Vines currently on a 1-0 streak, taking out Infinity 7's Crazy Moving with some nice stop position on his pros and a very lucky scout to see those roaches coming forward. Alright, so we are going to have Vines up here at the top right-hand corner, and Railcoon stop saying first up, not next. We also have Supernova on the bottom left. Yep. Hey, this is very familiar to what happened recently in the GSL. 1, 2. He's taking a page out of FXOpen's book against MMA. This might work out quite well, because he's not actually scouting until after the barracks is going to be finished. Railcoon. This is gonna be funny, because he did want to beat him. He didn't. Alright, so 1 zealot. He's gonna wait for 3 or 4, most likely. The scout is only just being sent out now. He's gonna get there and go, really? Really? And you've muted yourself again, dude.
Damn it! I cut in so quickly because of the proxy that I forgot to unmute myself. I'm just like, ah!
Alright, so we do have 2 zealots, gonna be very shortly done. Soon to be 3. The SCV is coming up that ramp.
Too late,
One
he's
Marine
going!
is running across the map as well.
He's going for it before Supernova even scouted it. There's two
Yeah.
zealots. And, oh my god, Dan. If that is you... It's
No,
you.
it's not me.
Yeah. It
Yep.
popped up for a
But there's
second.
zealots in the main now with that probe helping out as well. We got that one SCP, and he's tried. Oh, he's actually put the supply depot up. He's got the rally of the Marines on the other side. Ooh.
He's gonna float down to the natural.
Oh, well, the zealots.
Oh, but he let the zealot through! Oh
he's
no!
gonna keep
Now he
that
can kill the
shield.
Marines! Oh, he's only gonna get one of them, but he's going after that supply depot really hard. Supernova's just like, I'm gonna mass repair, I'm gonna float down to my natural. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. It's actually working here very nicely.
He just
done.
needs
can't get
income or
through
else
this
he's gonna
depot
run out
at
of minerals to
all. He can
repair.
like, try and micro things back, but there's also a I'm surprised there's no bunker going up outside of the vision here. There is a Marine and an SCV in the main for Vines, and he's still trying to get through this depot. He's actually going to work on both depots now. He's going to lose these SCVs. I'm surprised he just doesn't make a cybernetics core in Vines' base. Oh no, it's actually back behind his mineral line. That's why.
Yeah, and the first Marine actually walked all the way across the map with an SCV, trying to do some damage to the probes. Vines was able to take it out with his probes, but he had to stop mining with some of them at the moment, and, well, I mean...
There's a factory at the north here that
Oh,
hasn't been
he
seen
lowered
either.
the depot, and Vines was out of position, so he was not actually able to take advantage of that. And this factory, oh my god, if he gets the Hellions out...
He can kite the Zealot all he wants now. No, he's just going to get him out. Doesn't want to let Vines out either. The Cyber Core is done, of course. We got one Stalker being chrono boosted out. Vines is like, yeah, I'm done. GG coming out from Vines. Very interesting save coming out from Supernova. Very interesting. MMA, take note. Alright, so up next, we'll see if we can find Slayer's Gold, and if we can't, we're going to have a TVP, Tyloo's Gym, a Chinese player. It is going to be, of course, on Antigua Shipyards. While we get the next game set up, we'll go to a quick break. Stay with us. We're not sure, it depends. It could be Golden or Tyloo's Gym, or Mentalists. Oh, did he upgrade it? Update. Ah, okay. Alright, so we got Infinity 7's Mentalist up against OGS Supernova next. We're going to have another PVT. Let's see if this one goes a little bit longer.
My name is Dong Young Lee, StarCraft ID FXOpen. You're watching FXOpen television.
And welcome back, everyone. Next game for the FXOpen Korean King of the Hill. We have OGS Supernova up against Infinity 7's Mentalist. Mentalist teammate did quite well, taking a 5-0 kill streak, and currently the favorite to take down the $200 prize for longest streak in this one tonight. Of course, Supernova did just beat OGS Finds, his teammate, with a very tricky save against the proxy double 8 gate in his base. Well, let's see if he plays a standard game this time, though. It's going to be a PVT here on Daybreak. And we're only halfway through this King of the Hill here, Elkin. We've got a lot more games to go.
How are we halfway through already?
Because we've had 3 or 4 quick games.
I'm just like looking at the time and like, wait, what? But whatever.
What?
I mean,
sleep at a normal time today?
no, we're past all hopes of that happening. Just from when we started. But you can see that neither player doing anything tricky this time, at least yet. And looks like actually Mentalist is going to go Nexus first, so I spoke too soon. It's not super tricky, and I actually see this a decent amount on Daybreak because of the fact that players are figuring this map out a bit more than they had it at previously. You don't see as many all-ins here, and sometimes players do tend to play just a little bit safe because it's a 2-player map. So you throw in the Nexus first just as a mix-up, and your opponent never expects it, and then you're like, haha. Oh,
and
oops.
Relcoon's failed at the overlay again. Oh my god.
Hey, shut
Alright,
up.
so... what, it's not like it's 3 AM or anything for you.
Hey,
Jeez.
don't use your fancy mathematics to muddle the issue.
Alright, so we do have that 1 gig expand coming out here from Mentalist, but we got the double gas like you were saying before. This is going to be interesting. What is he going to do with it? He's got 2 SCVs in the middle, one SCV on the map. He's actually rallied that down to the bottom right-hand corner of the map. We might be seeing a proxy going through there, but the probe did not see the SCV as it was going through the middle of the map there. This could be interesting. What is he going to build down there? There's double
factory.
gas, nothing else behind this factory. Yep, it's a factory. Alright.
He had it placed in a different spot, and then he realized that's actually in the normal walking path. So he decided he's going to throw it down here where it's less likely to be spotted. And we'll see. Will he make a starport and go straight for the Banshees, or is he going to lift into the base and do the Hellions? He could do both. I've seen people do that. What do you think, Unstable?
Good. There's a lot of options he's got in this position, though. He's still got his SCV sitting around here. We do see a Stalker being chrono boosted out by Mentalist. And that factory's finishing up, but he's got a bunker down at the front here. Is he going to go for it? He's got quite a bit of resources banked up. He could float that factory over into the main, but Daybreak is a very difficult base to actually hide something. Yeah, there we go. It is actually going to be a starport. Going for the tech lab as well. Very fast Banshee's coming forward. He's got 200 gas already. This could catch Mentalist off guard here, as there is only still 1 gateway. He's going to have a little bit of time to see whether he goes for that early type of robotics facility, or it's going to be more gateways.
Yeah, the robotics facility is very common, though, just because of the way this matchup has been going recently. A lot of players just get the robotics facility just in case. It's also used as some of the early game timing attacks. But he is getting close to that 300... Oh, he's not going to do it! He's going 3 gateways first! So he might still make the robotics, but it's going to be later, and this means that if he goes for the cloak Unstable, he's actually going to have a very rare opportunity. Most of the time when players do this, the Protoss get the robotics before the extra gateways.
He's also put the factory in the perfect spot not to be seen, and then the probe runs forward making stuff and says, what are you doing here?
It also kind of gives away the fact that there are Banshees on the way, which might have actually caused Mentalist to build this robotics. Even if he was planning on skipping it previously. The only way the factory is getting there that fast is if it's built over here.
Way. It gets hit by both of the Stalkers. He's going to try and get a couple of hits up, but I don't think it's going to kill anything down here at all. We do see the Banshee coming out, only halfway done for that cloak, but the Supernova is expanding behind this as well. He's got a full bunker there, the factory's lifted up and come home, but there is 1, 2 Stalkers and a Sentry, and that's it. We're looking here, we got another Stalker on the way. We do have another 4th gateway in the robotics facility, so if it looks like Supernova is actually going to wait for that cloak, and the longer he waits, the less Stalkers, the more Stalkers that Mentalist is going to get, and he's also going to have that Observer because it's starting, it should be starting, there we go. He's actually chrono boosting it out as well, very smartly done.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think that this reaction could have just been because of that factory, because, like we were saying earlier, the only way the factory is going to get there that fast is if he built it over here. So that's why floating the factory over is a risk, because it looked like he was going to catch Mentalist off guard, and then just didn't happen. The Observer just finished, so 2 probes are down, and now he's chasing away the Banshee. I think it's going to die unstable. One more shot. There it goes. Oh, and that did basically nothing in the second. Banshee's already out. He's actually making a medevac out of this starport before he flies it home, because he wants to get the medevac out first. Now the Cloak Banshee going in towards the natural, but there's a second Observer about to finish. Mentalist is all over this. He's going after the sentry, though. He's going to get it. That's a nice focus fire from Supernova.
Yeah, he's going to get a couple of kills here as well. Running out of energy for that Cloak, though, not really going to matter at all as the Observer comes through. Does get a couple of hits on that Banshee before he backs off, but looks like the starport is coming home now. There is a Medivac there, and the Stalker coming around to check for any kind of third base this early, but not going to be this early, buddy.
Yeah.
And Supernova transferring back into a very standard mid-game. He is 20 supply down, so he is going to be on the back foot. Looking here, it's 28 Army supply to 18, 45 to 36 for the Worker supply, with Mentalist in the lead, and that is actually only going to increase because of that Chrono Boost, so we'll see if he can do this.
Yeah, this Banshee is still doing a good job of being annoying, even though there's no way she's really going to be able to get into the base and kill more probes. Just making sure that Mentalist cannot hold the watchtowers with any probes or anything too cheap. We're going to circle around on the main base, just poke at things, maybe get some scouting again, but he's now going for the double Forge transition. Now that he's already got a first Colossus out and range upgrades started, he's going to throw some of that gas into those Forge upgrades. Banshee coming in and getting very low, but barely sneaking out. But if he can sneak these Forge upgrades in, it'll give him a really nice advantage, as Supernova's tech is pretty delayed because of that cloak.
Alright, so that Colossus seems very lonely without all the extra gateway support right at the moment. Double Forge is very frustrating for Terrans to deal with. Actually, Supernova's only got one engineering bay.
Yeah,
like we're seeing the double engi bays coming out like more and more often. Where's that Medivac? Down here at the bottom right?
Yeah, but it looks like Mentalist is ready for it. He's got 3 Stalkers here. He's going to be able to put a lot of hurting in on this Medivac before she can even unload anything. And we'll see if he actually even drops on this. When he sees the Stalkers there, he might just back off. Oh, but the Stalkers just left! Oh my god! They were in the perfect position and the Stalkers just walked away. Now the Medivac's going to walk right in on the mineral line. There is a cannon here, but if he slips a little bit further to the left, he could be out of range of the cannon. Why is he just attacking the cannon?
Because he killed it. He did lose 2 Marines there, a total for that cannon. Still cost-effective trade for him. He does know that there's Colossus on the field now, and we do have... No, it's actually more Medivacs coming out. More barracks being placed down here. He's actually catching up in the army supply a little bit. But Mentalist does have that third base like you were mentioning before, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Twilight Council finishing up now as well. Probably going to be moving into that Blink upgrade. He's still sitting on the 6 gateways. So he's going to have 6 gates, 3 Colossus out now. Oh, he's going for Charge to back this up. Yeah, he's going to skip the Blink completely. Charge, very useful for the Protoss players in the mid-game. It's what keeps a lot of them in the game longer when they go for these really gas-heavy investment tech builds. You can cover your butt by getting Charge and just making a lot of Zealots with the excess minerals. But this is a really big drop unstable. 3 Medivacs. He scans first, sees the double cannons. You know what? I'm going to skirt around these.
Yeah,
but the factory is actually distracting all of the Stalkers. And now the 3 Medivacs come in, unload a lot of units. He warps in the Zealots. That's not going to be enough. But the Colossus are in position to hold this off. And they're actually getting so much damage in that he's not even going to be able to focus one of those down. Good defense by Mentalist. He's holding off all this really big aggression by Supernova, but he's up at the third base at the same time with the Banshee and some Marines and Marauders. The drop in the main has been forced away, but the Nexus, it looks like it's going to go down unstable. There it goes.
Very close for Supernova. He realized if he couldn't kill that, he was going to be so far behind, it wasn't funny. He's got a lot more Marauders in his naturally third base. For him himself is up, so now he's going to be upper base. We've got another starport coming to start pumping out as many Vikings as possible. He is only about 15 supply down, and he's just really frustrating Mentalist with all these different placements. throwing more pylons down in his main to spot for those drops as well. We got 2 more medivacs coming forward. Of course, the cannons right there are very nicely positioned. We did see Oz do the cannon placements against drops versus MMA in the GSL as well, instead of just keeping stalkers there, which is nicely done. But it looks like Mentalist is wanting to move out now. If he can push across the map before enough Vikings come out for Supernova, this would be very, very good for Mentalist.
Yeah, he only has 2 Vikings right now. Look at that. There's 3 Colossus. Oh, but Mentalist is backing off because of this drop in the main base by Supernova. Those remainders of that previous drop coming back in just to try and buy a little bit of time. He actually made Mentalist hesitate a little bit, even though he didn't buy the bait completely. So we'll see if that actually works out or not. There are now 4 Vikings on the field, so it did allow him to get at least 2 more Vikings out. He scanned, took down the Observer as well. Command Center will go down, but since he's chasing that, that means there's no more Vikings out. He might have 6 in a second unstable, and then he can go toe-to-toe with this army. These Colossus are in a really bad spot! He's gonna extend forward and get 2 of them for free. Vikings coming in from the top, gonna get a 3rd one. Oh my god, Supernova getting really fortunate there with the army positioning of Mentalist, trying to pick away these Colossus, but still that battle went really well in his favor.
Yeah, catching a few Marauders in front with those force fields as well, coming in from Mentalist. He's actually starting to power ahead in the supply because he's rebuilt this 3rd base, and Supernova just lost his. He's trying to remake that command center now. Has no answer to the Colossus just yet. Still only has 4 Vikings. Really needs a lot more to help keep this Colossus count down, but at the same time we do have Speed Zealots there and to just charge into that Marauder heavy force, and those Zealots do not die anywhere near fast enough. That's as fast as Supernova wants them to in that situation. We have 2-2 on the 3-3 on the way for our Protoss, and 2-2 for our Terran, and just that's what happens again this matchup. Protoss always ahead in the upgrades.
Especially when they go for this double forge, and he's been chrono boosting them rather effectively as well. Blink just started. Templar Archives is going to finish up soon, so he's going to have Colossus Storm on the field for Supernova to have to deal with, but the Ghosts have started, so we're going to have to start dealing with those EMPs, and we'll see how that goes. You know, a couple good EMPs can really change the tide, but Mentalist going for a 4th base before Supernova easily has 3rd up again. He's trying to double expand to catch up, but that means that Mentalist is really pulling ahead in the economy. 71 probes to 61 SCVs. He's actually had an income, even though there's mules out in the field right now, just because he has so many more bases. But here we go, another big engagement in the center. That is a lot of Vikings this time unstable. Those Colossus are getting blasted, but they're doing a lot of damage to the bio in the meantime. The Stalkers and Zealots trying to do damage, but a lot of the Zealots got stuck behind the Stalkers. He actually protected the last Colossus. Oh my god, Mentalist walking right over this army from Supernova because he doesn't have the Ghosts out yet. I thought that was going to go completely the other way for a second, but Mentalist just has too many units.
Yeah, exactly. Looking down here, the Zealots down here at the 3rd base, but he just didn't have the Marine counters, like almost all Marauders in the unit composition for Supernova. You cannot deal with Zealot's speed coming through like that. It just does so much damage to the Marauders, and they just get stuck there. They don't do as much damage as you'd like to the Zealots, and they just tank for a lot more than they really want. So, looking over here, there are Templars up in the main base for Mentalist now. He is about 10 supply up, but his Colossus count is getting dangerously low. He's only on 2. There's Ghosts on the field now as well. A lot of these Stalkers... Oh, there's Stalkers caught.
He was actually trying to catch the Vikings with his Stalkers. He saw the Vikings off on their own away from some of the other units, tried to move forward and hit them and then blink away. You see one of these Vikings really low, so it almost worked out, but then he got caught by the concussive shells. The escaping blink didn't work out the way he wanted it to. It was a nice idea, just wasn't able to execute properly, and looks like both players posturing in the center of the map again, but Mentalist still up a base on Supernova. Hasn't actually transferred any probes up there yet, but he's holding this economic advantage and just not giving it back.
Yeah, it's very true. We do see Supernova moving up to the north, wants to take out this extra base, but I don't think he realized. No, he does realize it's there, of course. There's extra cannons down there, and we also see he still hasn't cut off this tech lab. It's just still sitting there from the early game. He's got another robotics facility on the way. It is down at his natural, so he's going to be able to double produce those Colossus. He's got Storms now against this very Marauder heavy army. still for Supernova. He's got the Viking count up a lot higher. He's only got one Ghost though. He really wants to get those EMPs or snipes going as best he can. We do have a fully maxed out Mentalist here now, and here we go. Where are the Storms? There's no Templar with them. They're all way too far behind. A lot of these units are going down. The Colossus are dropping because of the Viking counts. The Templar were completely out of position. And this is actually going to really hurt. There's the Storms coming down, but there might have been just too much stuff. But no, there's no Zealots left. More Storms coming down on all these Marauders. Supernova not microing through the Marauders, through the Storms at all. These guys are all on very low health. The reinforcements coming down. Barely going to be able to hold. Ooh, this is too close.
Yeah, Mentalist is going to take the upper hand on this because he was able to take down all of the Marauders. There are only a couple reinforcement units coming in from Supernova, and then Archon's going to help out quite a lot. You can see he's throwing an EMP down on that just to take it down a little bit quicker, but he actually loses the Viking there, and there are 2 more Colossus on the way for Mentalist. So that was a really big snipe by Mentalist. Look at the one Colossus coming up to join the party. There are absolutely no Vikings left for Supernova. The supply difference is too much, and there's the GG, so Mentalist is going to take him down. And that means that we've had, what, 2 games that didn't have an Infinity 7 person on the top of the King of the Hill?
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so we're going to go into our next match. It is going to be Tai Lu's Jim, a Chinese player, up against Infinity 7's Mentalist. We are going to have a PvP on Antigua Shipyard. Give us a second to get these players in the lobby and going. So until then, we'll go to a quick commercial break. Stay with us, guys. Alright. So we're going to have Slayer's Golden up next against Infinity 7's Mentalist. This is going to be good. Looks like the bracket was updated without me refreshing. Always fun. So we have one. We've still got about 10 games to go here for the FXOpen Korean King of the Hill. We are nowhere near done. Let's get into this next one. Nope, we're going to have to wait 30 seconds for Slayer's Golden, but that's right, we can do that.
I was worried earlier because we were going to have a Slayer's Golden versus Vines match, and I was thinking to myself, oh my god, who's going to get yellow? Are they going to have like a rock paper scissors match just for the right to have yellow in the game? Because they both always show up and they immediately pick yellow. The color micro is very important in StarCraft 2.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to grab a quick drink while we wait for this game. I'll be right back real quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we just have a short delay here. Golden needed a few more seconds before he was ready to start. So we should be getting started in just a moment, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You should check out our Twitter and our YouTube up there on the screen right now. If you go to the owned link that's on the screen there as well, you can actually hit the follow button and be emailed when we go live. Why is Frequency asking for hipsters?
I have no idea.
Okay, Golden's back.
Oh, okay. He apparently Slayer's Golden is the hipster.
Oh, okay. It's probably some inside joke with Mark and Golden. Because Mark is always on the Korean server.
Yeah. Alright, looks like both of these guys are ready now. Let's get this going. It is going to be Slayer's Golden up against Infinity 7's Mentalist. A PVZ here on Tal'Darim. Let's go, Railcoon. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Taksu Kim. You're watching FXO television.
Very good.
And welcome back, everyone, to our next game. It is going to be Infinity 7's Mentalist up against Slayer's Golden for the FXOpen Korean King of the Hill. We are going to have Mentalist as our orange Protoss on the bottom left-hand corner of Tal'Darim Altar. And of course his opponent over here in the bottom right is Slayer's Golden. Golden does quite well in our King of the Hills every time he shows up.
Yeah, he's got a really good track record on our King of the Hill. Usually a really big threat when he shows up. He's actually gotten the longest win streak a number of times as well.
Yep.
So we'll see what... Oh, we got an overpool. Getting that out on the 11 supply mark. Right as that Overlord finishes. It's kind of a more economic 10 pool kind of thing. And it allows you to apply some early pressure and then just be able to drone behind it quite safely. It really is that kind of early pressure, just trying to do a little bit of damage, make them overreact while you drone up at the same time. But Mentalist actually scouted that the exact second that it went down, so he's probably not very likely to overreact, probably just going to finish his wall off here, drop a couple buildings, and then just play normal. It does mean that he won't be able to drop the Nexus too soon. He's going to have to finish the wall off first, so by, at the very least, doing that, it is giving Golden an opportunity to stay in it economically.
Yeah, exactly. The cannon is going down at the main entrance here to Mentalist's base. He's probably going to get that gateway in the second that it happens. We do have 19 over 18 supply here for Golden as he's trying to get 6 lings out. He might want to go just for the run-by past this cannon.
Where is he making this pylon? Oh, it's at the natural of Golden at the moment.
Yes.
I was looking around because
I think he's just going to ignore it as he runs past. Yeah, there we go. So we could try and get past
He's
this
going to make a
cannon.
Nexus. I thought usually what players do is they wall off and then they throw down the Nexus, but I guess since he scouted the timing of the pool, he was calling Golden's bluff, and he did it perfectly because Golden wasn't actually going to commit to it. It's the overpool. You very rarely actually get hyper aggressive with it. It's a really good play by Mentalist, but it's risky, which is why I reacted like that. But oh my god, that's going to put him in a really nice position now because he did that.
Yeah. Alright. I don't know, Mentalist played really well in the last game. It was very standard as well. He didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Just covered all his bases, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see from him out of this game as well. There is that probe at the very top right-hand corner. He's hiding from these lings that's just checking everywhere over here.
Yeah, now he's putting those extra Zerglings to work on the destructible rocks very early. I mean, it's a good idea, because they're not really doing anything else at the moment. The other Zerglings are actually just moving around the map, checking for anything stray. He didn't quite find this probe, though, so we'll see if he can use that to throw down a Ninja Pylon. But these rocks are going to go down pretty quickly, allow Golden to get up to a really fast third base if he wants to. Normally kind of challenging on this map, especially in these positions, because usually the Zerg will want to go down to the 6 o'clock, but he's not going to be able to expand there on these positions, would have to go all the way up to this, like, 2 o'clock spot, which is just much further away.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so what do you think we're going to see out of Mentalist Railgun? Do you think we're going to see a Stargate? I'm feeling a Stargate.
I'm not sure if he's a Stargate kind of guy, but it is pretty standard to be using that in this position. It's really going to come down to what he wants to do. He could try to DT, Stargate. He could just go for like 3-gate pressure. Just doesn't have the minerals to be doing any of those yet, but he did go for the double gas. So I don't think it's going to be 3-gate pressure. Yeah, it's looking like it's probably going to be a Stargate, just based on what he's got up right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the pylon down at the top of his base. He doesn't quite have the gas yet, because he did start the +1 weapons on his forge very, very quickly, actually. Now, chrono boosting out that warp gate research. At the same time, Golden did throw down his 3rd hatchery really quickly, and this Zealot and Probe are going to make it into the base just to scout around. He did see the 3rd hatchery was on the way, and now he's going to see that there's no road for him. So, if he was waiting for this to make up his mind, then would not be surprised to see him actually throw down that Stargate. Oh, he's throwing down 2 more gas. He doesn't seem to have his mind made up yet either, Unstable.
No, he doesn't. But with that 3rd coming up, it's going to be very efficient for him to get those drones over there as soon as possible. He's coming in with an Overlord, sees absolutely nothing, because there hasn't been anything built yet. And there's Twilight Council over on the right-hand side of the natural. I think he was just waiting to find where that Overlord was going to pass before building anything. Which is actually a really smart move.
Yeah, he's actually not building any gateways after this. There we go, 3 more gateways. So, I'm not entirely sure. This could be Blink instead of Dark Templars. With the moving into 4 more gateways, yeah. It looks like it's probably going to be Blink, not the Dark Templars. Because remember the Dark Templars, you'll go into like 3 or 4 gateways. The 4 isn't as common. 3-gate is a little bit more. So with him moving up to 5, I would really expect to see the Blink on the way. But he's going for he's going for the hallucination to get vision on the high ground. That's what he's doing.
There we go. All right. We don't have Blink just yet. We do have +1 finishing up. Are we going to go into +2 straight away? Not sure.
It's not making it. I don't know. Just watching Mentalist play, it seems like I have an idea of what he's doing, and then he hesitates. Like, you would expect with that hallucination for him to go into Blink, but he's also not throwing down a Dark Shrine. He did use that Twilight Council to go for a really quick +2, like you said, but I didn't think that would be the only reason he would go for the Twilight Council, because if he was going to go for just pure gateway pressure, he's got a lot of gas for that. Like, even considering all the sentries he's warped in, he's still floating 500 gas.
Okay, he's 20 supply down now. Of course, we've got the Roaches, +1 attack, Burrow and Roach Speed on the way. Looks like Slayer's Golden is thinking of a mass gateway timing coming in against him. He's got those lings in the middle of the map, though. Mentalist trying to take a 3rd base here. What is he doing, Relkin?
I don't know.
What is he doing?
Like, he's throwing down some extra gateways just to wall off this 3rd base. It looks like he's just moving into mass gateway, but then I'd expect to see Blink or Charge at the very least, because he's got so much gas. He's up to 700 gas. What is all this gas for? He's not using any of it.
He's got 4 more gateways down here, walling off his 3rd base. Could be for a whole heap more sentries. Maybe. No, probably not. He does pick up that changeling, though. Does see the size of this army is relatively small. Golden is now at 76 drones. He hasn't really been pressured after that first Zealot that came walking through. Infestation pits, Spire, everything going on. And we still haven't really seen any kind of check choice from Mentalist at all. Yeah. He's getting cannons down behind this wall off down here. He's going to be very safe. He's going to be able to punch through a lot of upgrades if that's what he's after. +2 attack is finishing up now for him. Is he going to go for the next one straight away? He's got a robotics facility finishing up now. Playing very, very passive.
I have no idea what his plan is at this moment, and I'm just gonna have to wait and see. I'm gonna have to stop guessing it, because it seems he's floating a lot of gas for something, and like moving into Colossus, he wouldn't need that much gas as early as he got it. And if he was going into Colossus, he'd probably get the charge.
Oh, does catch quite a few of these roaches. 8 meters on the way now. For Slayer's Golden, he will be able to poke in, start being frustrating for Mentalist, but he's got cannons at all the places he's going to be attacked except the mineral lines. He's getting a 3rd cannon down at this wall down at the bottom right. Get +3 is started already, but nothing. Like, he's got an observer coming out of this robotics facility, but he hasn't gone for blink. He hasn't gone for a robo bait just yet.
Yeah, you can see that
He's
Golden
investing
actually
everything.
freeing up some of his drone supply by making a lot of
Yeah.
spine crawlers because he overdroned a little bit. He's bringing himself back down to 80, which is a pretty good number.
Yep.
And now the
There's
first
the
8
blink.
Mutalisks. That's a really delayed blink.
Whoa,
Oh, the
what is
Muta's
he doing
flying
over there?
right over the Stalkers, taking a ton of damage. One of them going down, 2 more getting very low. And now Mentalist is just throwing down cannons everywhere, and I still have no idea what all this gas is for. Like, he's making a lot of really mineral-intensive stuff, including throwing down all these cannons. He's been mining from these 4 assimilators full-time. Like, you would expect him to pull off a gas if he did change his mind, but he never did. He is now finally making a Dark Shrine, which would have explained this if he made it much, much earlier. There it is at the 3rd base, but...
Well, we've already got a heap of spine crawlers here for Golden. He's also going for that Hive Tech. And here we go, we do see a Dark Shrine, a Tempire Archives, and a Warp Prism coming out for Mentalist. His Blink is finishing soon. He's got that +3 that's going to finish soon as well. Didn't go for the double forge, but still, that's a very quick +3. Looking at the upgrades over here for Golden, he's only got that +1.
Oh, he's trying to come in and unpower all of these gateways, but Mentalist is able to chase him away. And
He's going to have Blink in a second as well. More pylons going down to stop that happening. But he's still only... He's got 8, 9... He's got 9 gateways total. More cannons going down. No, that's not a cannon. That's where the
Golden
Dark Shrine
still
is.
doesn't have much army-wise. He's making a Nidus network, actually. And he's got some mutas out, but not a whole lot, making 5 more. The rest of his army is just a small clump of Zerglings and Roaches here. He's floating a lot of supply, and while he moves up to Hive, what is he going to go into? Broodlords, I
He's got the
assume?
Nidus Worm finishing up now, so he might be able to go into the main. He, of course, does have vision, but everywhere he has vision is also seen by Mentalists. We can't really punish that. Whoa, the Warp Prism was so close to being scattered by these mutas. Oh my god. There goes the... Yep, it's going up in the place that's been seen, and more cannons going down now.
Yeah, and at the same time, 4DT's tried to move in to that 4th base, but that nice line of Spine Crawlers and the Spore Crawler completely deflected it. Now he's checking up where there might be a 5th, but there's no base there yet. So his Dark Templars really didn't do anything. Where is the Warp Prism? I lost it. Did it die?
It's up at the very 12 o'clock position.
Oh, okay,
it's like
there it
running
is.
all the way around. There is going to be 4 DTs up here to pick up. They are patrolling to see if any other bases come forward. There are 2
Oh, he's
extra
fighting
hatcheries.
all these sentries with the Mutalisks! These sentries are completely alone. He's going to get a couple before he gets away. I thought he was going to get more than that. Very quick blink out of Mentalist to save those sentries. That would have been a pretty big hit. But at the same time, now Golden is moving up to that Greater Spire. And, well, Mentalist is already making a Stargate. It seems
got
like
Archon
Mentalist
with
is
me.
playing like a Zerg player where he's getting like all of the tech options and then he's just want to change his army composition on the fly. Oh my god, that's a ton of Spine Crawlers.
Why not? Why not? That actually is an insane amount. The downside of this is you can walk around them, like if you wanted to. That's the only annoying part about that. But Mentalist coming out onto the creek now, finally moving forward, and we do see another Nidus where it's hiding.
I
Where is
don't
that
see it on the mini-map at all. It might be connecting his bases, but the Mutalisks are flying in on the natural at the moment. Nice defensive storm coming out, as well as the damage from the cannons. Where is that? Oh, it's down here at the 6 o'clock, trying to lead into the 3rd base, but that's walled off with the gateways and cannons, so that's not really going to do much. Muta's still flying around, seeing if they can find anything to damage, but there's only 1 cannon left here, but nice blink by the Stalkers. The Mutas are kind of trapped in here by the Stalkers. Gonna take some Archon shots as well. Ouch! That did free up some supply, but uh-oh. There's a fleet bacon on the way. Oh, how did he get... Is that actually open? He just walked right by those gateways with his Zerglings, but got stormed anyways, so those Zerglings didn't really do much damage. Roach is trying to take out these cannons, but they're going to take heavy losses, not really do too much damage. But the fleet
Well, he had
bacon...
to get rid of those low-tech, some low-tiered units anyway. He's got 10 Broodlords on the way. He's got 3